Canada set to drop some of its retaliatory tariffs on American goods as early as next month. So last week, the Prime Minister announced his plans to lift counter tariffs on CUSMA-compliant goods coming from the States. CUSMA, as you likely know, is the Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement. It covers products that were grown or produced in those countries, meaning some of your favorite fruits, coffee, and tea may soon cost a lot less at the checkout. We've been watching CUSMA because a lot of our goods under CUSMA are what impacts Manitobans in our industries. But after months of prioritizing buying local on the consumer end, how eager are you to embrace this? Earlier this week, CBC's Gavin Axelrod wanted to find out, so he headed out to one of the grocers, to Superstore. He spoke to Chris Carlisle at a local superstore in Winnipeg, and she says she's always reading the labels to ensure that things that she buys are locally made.
I prefer Canadian all the way.
Why is it so important for you right now to be buying Canadian?
I think it's part of our Canadian identity. I don't want to be taken over by the States.
I was going to ask you, so on September 1st, some of the counter tariffs on U.S. goods are going to be dropped, and people are expecting things to get a bit cheaper. Do you think you'll start buying products from the U.S. again after those counter tariffs are dropped?
Probably not. No, probably not. I think we're limited for products like coffee. I think a lot of it is processed in the States, but I do look at labels. I don't want to be controlled by another country, and I think I want to have options, and it seems like the States has a monopoly on us when it comes to products.
I'm Maureen.
Dennis.
I see you've got a full cart full of stuff here. When you're in the grocery store, how much are you looking at the labels and where products come from these days?
We try to. This is American.
On September 1st, they're going to take some tariffs off of U.S. imported goods. Once those tariffs are dropped, do you see yourself buying more American products?
We're still going to try to get Canadian as much as possible because you want to support local as much as possible.
Have you always looked at buying Canadian in the grocery store, or has it just been since the tariffs?
It is a new thing. We're mostly checking prices, but it's availability. If you need a vegetable and before we just bought it, but now we do think more about it being from Canada.
So let's talk about this more. That was some shoppers. Those were rather some shoppers that CBC's Gavin Axelrod spoke with in Winnipeg at a superstore earlier this week. Sylvain Charlebois is with us, visiting scholar at Mcgill University. He specializes in food distribution and food policy. He's here live via Zoom. Hi there.
Good morning.
So let's start with those shoppers, and then we'll build out what products are, going to be affected here. Because what we heard from them is that they are trying to be buying Canadian, but. So what do you think of the timing of this?
I think it's long overdue, to be honest. We were very concerned about food inflation last week. We saw our food inflation rate go up to 3.4%, which is a difference of 1.7% compared to the general inflation rate. So what that means basically is when you go to the grocery store, you'll notice higher food prices. And so kids are going back to school. Parents will be looking for deals at the grocery store. And many categories that have been impacted by Canada tariffs have impacted products that likely parents will be buying for the school year. So this is very timely, but to be honest, it is going to take a while for grocers to get through their own inventories that have been tariffed. So we are expecting prices to start dropping probably end of September, early October.
Got it. Because they'll first have to sell those other goods that were tariffed still at that higher rate because they have them in stock.
The shelf life for many of these products is pretty lengthy. So that's why it'll take a while, like coffee or tea or pasta, lots of frozen goods. I'm not sure people were aware, but a lot of products were counter tariff because I think the overpowering narrative out there over the last several months was, well, most of it is CUSMA exempt, but we were in breach of CUSMA, so a lot of products were being tariff impacting food inflation in Canada.
So you mentioned coffee. We heard in the news, citrus fruits, orange juice maybe is one that people know already. Pickles, right? So there are a number of different things. You said some frozen food as well?
Yeah, everything in a jar. And for people out there, I know that a lot of people are looking for non-American products, which is fine. And we have noticed a difference in sales for American products. But the thing about counter tariffs that is incredibly dangerous for us all, really, no matter whether or not you're looking for Canadian or not, is that you're basically suppressing competition. You're discouraging grocers from carrying more products. And if there are fewer products, it means that there are fewer choices for consumers. And when that happens, typically, well, there's less competition. And when there's less competition, prices go up for everything. It's like the tide. So that's why you want to open things up as much as possible to keep all food products as affordable as possible.
You heard that couple saying they try to buy Canadian, and you mentioned the buy Canadian thinking. How do you think that this will impact that movement, or was it already waning in your view?
Uh, well, when you look at the data, so when you look at surveys, people will say we'll look for Canadian as much as possible. So it's very consistent with what we're hearing out there. But when you actually look at sales data, it is pretty clear that there are two things happening. One, people are absolutely boycotting American products. They're avoiding American products, but grocers are giving consumers of other multinational choices from other parts of the world, like Peru. We're seeing more products from Mexico, Peru, Egypt, South Africa, Australia as well. So grocers have actually multinationalized their offering for sure, but it hasn't really helped Canadian products overall. But the other thing that we're hearing is that grocers aren't necessarily putting an effort in carrying more Canadian products as well. So this is certainly something that we'll keep an eye on. We'll actually look at two things. One, will the offering be more Canadianized into the fall? So will we see grocers making an effort to carry more Canadian options? And two, well, Peer Bank, the CEO of Loblaw, and the CEO of Metro, they're both on record saying that we are going to drop prices in the fall as a result of Friday's decision. So we'll be watching whether or not these prices are dropping.
There is I know this is a political question, but there is this CUSMA review coming up, right? How might the decision to drop these tariffs on American products help Canada during those negotiations?
Oh, it was critical. I mean, the U.S. ambassador to Canada was pretty clear about the fact that Canada was in breach of CUSMA, and and so if you're as a partner, if you're in breach of your own trade agreement with the U.S., it doesn't bode well for the future. But now we are in compliance, which is certainly good news, I think. And regardless what we think about Washington and President Trump, it was, I think, an important thing for Prime Minister Carney to do. And so the decision on Friday was not only logical, but it really helped our cause for CUSMA 2.0.
Thanks for this morning, Sylvain. Just to reiterate the big points out of our interview, you said that we expect probably October is going to be around when the consumer and listeners, this morning can actually expect to see things going down because of existing inventory. It's going to take a few months.
Yeah, and there's a long list that I posted on X of products you're expecting to become more affordable into the fall. So there's actually quite a long list there.
Okay, great. So that's you on X, you said, Sylvain?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay,
Who are you on X? Are you Sylvain Charlebois if people are looking for you?
Food professor.
Love that. Okay.
Food professor.
Thank you for that, Food Professor, and thanks for your time today.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So check out that list on X, Food Professor, a.k.a. Sylvain Charlebois, who's been with us this morning, a visiting scholar at Mcgill University. He specializes in food distribution and food policy.